It is finally here. It is conference championship Sunday. I'm your host, Courtney Fallon. This is the game day pregame show. You know the deal. Kenny bets big. He's over there. He's got all of the lines, the spreads. He's going to give you the cues as to what to bet on Sunday. And I mean, listen, this is a big mega game. Did you know that there's only 3 football games left this season, Kenny? It's kind of crazy to think about.
I would have never guessed it. But yeah, 3 games, finally the season's finally coming down to an end. So, hey, everyone listen, just cherish these games. We got some good ones.
Yeah, we got a fantastic showdown today. I mean, what could be better? In our pregame shows and our pregame, discussions before we went live here, you and I are on the complete polar opposite of what is going to go down this Sunday. And I guess that's just going to make for a great show. So, we got a couple of legends, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, the Bucs and Tom Brady in his 14th conference championship game. I mean, you could split this guy's career up into 2 decades and he would have 2 Hall of Fame careers in the 2000s and the 2010s. And Tom Brady doesn't seem like stopping. He doesn't want to stop. He's 43 years old. He's ageless, but he's going up against a Packers team that is monstrous. And Aaron Rodgers, soon to be, I think we can all assume he's going to be the future MVP of the league. Tampa is 9-7-2 against the spread this season. Green Bay has been 12-5 against the spread this season. So let's roll into this first game. It's the Packers and the Bucs. I mean, pretty much this is kind of a toss-up because, the home team, they get 3 points automatically. So the Packers, they get 3 points. A lot of people were expecting the line to move. It didn't move so much. Its over-under is at 53, so it's pretty high. To me, personally, I think that this is going to be a shootout. The Packers are going to do their thing early on. They're going to put up points early and often. And so that's why I really like that line where it is 53 because I feel like there's going to be a really jam-packed, very fun second half of this game. What are your first initial thoughts about Tom Brady going in as an underdog into Lambeau Fields? Weather conditions should be pretty good, I think, by game time. They were saying some snow and all that stuff, but I don't think it's going to be a factor today. What are your thoughts on Tom Brady in his 14th conference championship game, Kenny?
The Bucs for the crib. There's only one way to look at this game, right? Tom Brady is, the king of the North. He's the Ice King himself. He's 13-2 in cold weather playoff games. So all the talk this week about, it's going to be cold in Lambeau, throw that out the window. Tom Brady lived in New England where he dominated the AFC for I don't even know how many years. But yeah, there's only one way to look at this. Right now, there's about 45% of the bets on the Buccaneers. Only about 40% of the money. So not a big liability in the sports books. It is pretty odd that the line hasn't moved. A lot of money is on the Packers. I'm surprised it hasn't gone up to 3.5. But yeah, this is a no-brainer for me. I was big on Brady last week. I was big on him the week before. I can't get off a Tom Brady train now. I'm going Bucs all the way. I have a couple future bets, which I sent out to my clients for. I actually predicted this game perfectly. I have the Packers to win the NFC Championship at plus 120, and I have the Bucs to win the NFC Championship at like plus 550. So I can't lose on this game at this point. I also have the Bucs to win the Super Bowl. Pretty nice. So, I'm all in on the Buccaneers bandwagon. I'm all in on the Tom Brady train. There's no stopping me. And listen, before the playoffs started, I was really thinking about this. Like, are the Bucs, but there's nothing to think about. It's Tom Brady, Gronkowski, Godwin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown. He has players he's never
not playing. He's out.
He has talent that he's never played with before. And then, Aaron Rodgers on the other flip side of the ball, this Bucs defense is going to be the best defense that the Packers have faced over the last 3-4 weeks, right? So, I expect Devontae Adams to probably see a couple double teams or bracket coverage and eliminate Aaron Rodgers' number 1 target. So I just don't think Aaron Rodgers honestly is going to be able to get it done today. A lot of people jumping on that Packers bandwagon, and just as well as I do, Tom Brady, when, all the chips are stacked against him, that's when he comes out and he plays his best games. Like, look at last week, right? Obviously the defense stepped up huge, but everyone was talking Brady, he's going to lose to the team 3 times for the first time in his career. That was never happening. And, it's not going to happen this week either. I said in my early lines video this week, when teams play for the second time in the playoffs, the team that won the first game wins the second game about 65% of the time. The Bucks won the first matchup 38-10. There's Bucks for the crib. You asked, I'm telling you, people at home listening, take the Bucks. Don't doubt it. Just put the money on the game, turn it off, come back 3 hours later, cash your bets.
All right, I disagree. I think the Packers are going to win this. I think they're going to win the points. I do. As I said, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. You cannot take away from that Packers secondary, which has gotten really strong, and they're stronger around the boundary. So in terms of Tom Brady's weapons today, so a couple of prop bets that I really like. Again, I just think that this is Aaron Rodgers' year. This is the type of year that you are looking at certain names and you're like, huh, who's that? Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Robert Tonyan, these guys, Devontae Adams, obviously, coming out of the woodworks. This is the type of quarterback that makes all of his teammates better. And when he makes them better and he elevates them to a level of they're playing in an unstoppable pace. I love the way that Matt LaFleur has set the pacing and the tone of this offense. I think that they score early. They score often. I have Green Bay to win the first quarter, have a first quarter lead for one of my prop bets and a first half lead. I think that Tom Brady, it's kind of like, I don't know what Bruce Arians does out there. He says that he helps, Tom Brady just coaches the team. So whether or not he's basically coaching in the first half, they go into halftime, they figure it out, and Tom throws a couple bombs, but that is a prop bet that I like. I think, again, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I think that this is going to be his game. He's finally going to get over the hump. I know he's had some struggles catching over 31.5 receiving yards. And then on the other side of the ball, your guy, Tom Brady, over 300 yards passing is a plus 120. I think that you're gonna take that. You're gonna take that prop bet. I see you shaking your head over there.
Well, I don't really bet props. Listen, I'm
the prop queen today.
You are.
Props. You say yes or no.
You mentioned
Tom Brady over 300 yards passing. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Hold on, real quick, because I have to say this. You mentioned Aaron Rodgers is doing a lot with nothing. Come on. Tom Brady has won Super Bowls with Julian Edelman as his number one receiver. Julian Edelman would not even be on the football team on half of these other rosters.
Yeah, but okay. So so Antonio Brown's going to be out. On the Tampa side of the ball, if you want to talk about that, Chris Godwin, I think that he's going to be his guy today. Over 68.5 receiving yards I have for his prop bet. And here's a really juicy one. Chris Godwin over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. Plus 550. Take that to the bank.
I like that.
I love it. I love that one.
You have any Gronk props on there?
I
think we're going to see a heavy dose of Gronkowski.
I think the only Gronk prop that I will take is an anytime touchdown. I feel like, it's a Brady and Gronkowski cold weather game. They can't move the ball. That's going to be his go-to guy. He's going to need someone reliable, in the red zone. I could see a Gronk anytime touchdown. Here's another great prop bet is a Brady anytime touchdown is plus 500. So like a little QB sneak at the goal line, cold weather steez. If you pick the half that he scores, the first half, that touchdown, it goes from plus 500 to plus 950. So second half Brady, anytime touchdown, plus 950. Loving that one. Let's see. The Godwin prop I really love. The Brady over 300 passing yards. Oh, Tampa's team total over 24 for sure. That to me is a no-brainer.
I'm thinking a 27-24 game, Bucks to win.
What?
I'm thinking a 27-24 final score, Bucks win.
Okay. I think it's in the 30s. I don't know. I could just see multiple touchdowns here. I mean, and I could be wrong because I was pretty jaded by the over-unders of last week. That was a really misleading buyer beware. We got through wild card week and everyone's running up the score, but even Josh Allen hasn't been so great as of late. We haven't seen the regular season Josh Allen as we move into our next game. Regular season Josh Allen against the Chiefs. Granted, Patrick Mahomes is not himself, at least as of late. Patrick Mahomes going down with a concussion last week. He's been dealing with turf toe. He was cleared of the concussion protocol. He was not listed on the injury report with that toe. But the mobility factor really, really worries me. And a lot of what Patrick Mahomes can do is scramble outside of the pocket and freelance and throw down the field. When they take his mobility away and when the majority of your running backs are injured, Le'Veon Bell is not 100%. Clyde Edwards-Helaire should be a game-time decision. I'm looking at, down the depth chart, Darrell Williams might get a nice rushing prop. To me, this is not the Chiefs of 2019. This team worries me. Yeah, sure, they can make up things, late in games. The Bills are that offense and Brian Dable. It's going to be a repeat of that regular season game, but it's going to be tougher defense, tighter coverage, everything. And I just think the Bills are going to pick them apart handedly. I have the Bills +3 and the under on this one at 54.5. What about you, Kenny?
I think this is a gift. In my early lines video, I was, on the Bills +3, but that was on Monday when we weren't after Mahomes was wobbly. I really didn't think there was any chance he was playing in this game. Shocked he is. I think Chiefs -3 is just a gift. I mean, this is probably the best team in football, defending Super Bowl champs. Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league right now. And, you touched on his running backs that are injured. Doesn't matter. As long as he has Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, and Travis Kelce, he's good. I just think the Bills just don't have enough weapons on their defense to stop this team because you figure Tre'Davious White will probably have to match up with Travis Kelce. And then who's going to guard Tyreek Hill? Like Tyreek Hill is probably the most dangerous weapon in the NFL. I just can't see the Chiefs losing this game. I think it's going to set up for a great Super Bowl, huge storyline, the old guard versus the new guard, Tom Brady versus Mahomes. Yeah, this is a tough game, honestly, but right now there's about 55% of the bets on the Bills, right around 60% of the money on the Bills. Anytime you have a road underdog getting more of the bets, more of the money, it's usually a fade spot for me. And again, it's not often you fade the public and you get to take Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, which might add they haven't covered for 9 weeks in a row now.
They haven't scored more than won by more than 7 points.
Yeah. So all good things come to an end. All bad things come to an end. So I really think the Chiefs are going to come out. I think they're going to get this win. I just think I've been saying it all season. I think the Bills are just a year too early, in my opinion. They've made a great run. They beat my Ravens last week, which they shouldn't have beat. They got outclassed on every statistical category in that game: time of possession, yards, passing yards, rushing yards. Unfortunately, Lamar Jackson throws a pick six, totally changes the outcome of that game. I just don't think the Bills have enough to compete with this Chiefs team. And like I said on the Packers-Bucks game, when teams match up for the second time in the season, the team that won the first matchup wins the second matchup about 65% of the time. So, with Matt's stats history in my favor, I'm feeling pretty confident taking the Chiefs and the Bucks here. And you're telling me I'm fading the public in both spots and I'm getting Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady? That's a gift. Parlay them, take them straight, do whatever you got to do. Don't look back.
Kenny, what do you think about, again, with that ability? So, again, we don't really know the version of Patrick Mahomes that we are going to get. And by the way, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is likely to play today. I know that he was questionable all week with an injury, but he is likely to start today. So, that being said, the mobility for the Chiefs, is it going to be a trouble for them if they can't establish the run? And it's all passing on Patrick Mahomes. Because,
honestly,
I'm worried about his ability.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I don't think he's going to be running all over the field today, but at the same time, he's a quarterback. So as long as his hands are good, he could throw the ball. I mean, he's still one of the best in the league. I'm sure they're going to load this guy up with all types of drugs today before the game. So I'm sure he's probably not going to feel that turf toe. And I just really, like I said, this is just a gift. That's the only thing I could say about this. Like sharps all over Chiefs here. Chiefs -3 in the AFC Championship game to get back to the Super Bowl. Andy Reid, one of the most underrated coaches in the league. I love the Chiefs here. And yeah, like I said, I just think the Bills I think they've been playing a little bit above their level so far. Like, they shouldn't have beat the Ravens last week. You can say I'm salty because I lost a lot of money on that game, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you look at
Your bet too. Don't
if
worry.
you
I
if
read.
you
I took.
if you look at the stats of that game, though, the Ravens should have never lost. So, if not often teams dominate the stat sheet and lose the game. Like, that just doesn't really happen in the NFL. It's not too often. So I think the Bills got lucky last week. I think the Chiefs are a way better team than the Ravens. Chiefs already beat this team one time. Yeah, I just don't see the Bills really competing here.
See, I'm kind of at the other side of the spectrum in the sense that I think that the reason that the Ravens didn't put up any points is because of the Bills defense and that Bills defensive strategy. And a couple of prop bets that I like. I do like the Bills first half money line. Again, I'm on the other side of this than you. The Bills team over is 25.5. I think that they'll score more than 25.5. I'm looking at this Josh Allen 2.5 touchdowns. I think I'm going to go under on that. I'm not so confident in the Josh Allen. I don't know what version of Josh Allen that we're going to get. Of course, we're going to get a lot from Steph Diggs. There's going to be some big explosive plays, but I'm not so entirely sure that Josh Allen is going to be the superstar that we saw during the regular season. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Hey, if Josh Allen is not the superstar that was in the regular season, the Bills have zero chance in this game. That's what I'm saying. Like, for the Bills to do what they've been doing, Josh Allen literally has to play a perfect game every single time. And at some point in time, he's not going to play a perfect game, right? Like, you can't be perfect every single time you take the field. And that's the Bills, their mantra to win is Josh Allen goes out there, he runs all around, throws the ball like crazy, and Diggs is catching touchdowns left and right. So yeah, I just don't think I agree. I don't see Josh Allen coming in, putting in an MVP caliber performance today, and I don't see the Bills being able to win if he doesn't do that. And you real quick, because you touched on the Bills defense about how they held the Ravens to 3 points. Mind you, that was with Justin Tucker, who has never missed those field goals, missing 2 field goals, not 1, but 2. And Lamar Jackson, who is probably the worst quarterback when it comes to red zone efficiency in the league. He's literally probably dead last, throwing a pick 6. So they left at least 9 points on the board, potentially 13 points on the board. So the Bills defense, they didn't really, it's not that they really beat the Ravens. The Ravens kind of beat themselves in that game, in my opinion. So I just, you had the Ravens offense who was just moving the ball at will all over them, running the ball all over. I think they were averaging 5 yards a carry on this Bills team. I just think the Chiefs have too many weapons, honestly, for this Bills team to match up, X and O wise to where they're going to be able to score enough points to get the win.
Okay. So would you take the under in the game at 54.5? I'm going to take the under on this one.
I would not touch the over under because, again, with the Chiefs, I've said it a million times on this show. Chiefs are one of like the hardest teams to handicap, especially like totals, because Patrick Mahomes is literally like the godchild. He could come out here in the first quarter and throw 3-4 touchdowns. Personally, I've learned to just kind of stay away from over unders. But if we're looking at the numbers right now, there is 52% of the bets on the over, only 50% of the money. So the public, everyone, sharps, public, everyone's pretty split on that total,
Mm-hmm.
So it hasn't really moved much. It has. It's moved 4 points, 4.5 points. That's crazy.
Interesting.
Opened at 50. Now it's 54.5.
What, the line, the over under?
Yeah.
I just think, because Patrick Mahomes is confirmed to play too. It was like,
That's true.
A lot of people were saying, what's the handicap and what are people going to do if Chad Henne was the starter? I think they were like, that would be an even 6-point swing right back to the Bills to be favored. But luckily that is not happening. We are getting Josh Allen. We are getting Patrick Mahomes. One prop bet that I kind of like, Buffalo anytime defensive touchdown.
What are the odds on that?
Yeah, plus 600 on that one. For both games, and I think that this can be said, just especially with the Bucs, their number 1 rushing defense. They're getting Vita Vea back on that front 7, but don't necessarily know if this could just be, them going all out for the Super Bowl potentially. I really think, again, I think that the ground game is going to be very limited on Sunday, and I like both of their starting running backs, both Aaron Jones and Devin Singletary, to have big receiving yards, catching passes off the flat, off screens. I really like those prop bets, and I think that there is going to be an emergence of a every down back and a multi-purpose back in both of these games for both teams.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette pounding the rock.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to be the emergence. Watch. The Bucks are destined. Like Brady tweeting out, I told you last week, Brady, he's cryptic, man. He puts those things out, and you just kind of got to go with it. I believe, I just got to believe in Tom. He's never let me down. The guy gets it done every single time.
You're just happy.
He's been in like 9 Super Bowls.
He saved your Sunday. He saved your week last week. You were down big.
Tom Brady saved a lot more than
you took the house and you bet it all on Brady. I love it.
He probably saved a lot more than my week last week. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't safe betting, everyone. Come on. What are your favorite? What's your favorite parlay bet of this Sunday?
Bucks money line, Chiefs money line.
Okay. Just both of those.
Yeah. They're getting it done. I'm taking the 2 best quarterbacks in the matchups. I'm taking the better quarterback, and I'm just rocking with that. I'm just, hoping that it works. I'm still considering the numbers, the stats, like I gave you guys a couple different trends as far as the history of the second time teams meet. And they all just kind of point. Like I do think we'll see one upset in one of these games and one favorite. It's usually how things kind of go. Mm-hmm. So hopefully the Bucks get it done in the first game, and then I'll feel super confident, riding the Chiefs in the second matchup.
All right. Well, good luck to everyone watching this broadcast, all of our faithful listeners, everyone enjoying their conference championship Sunday. You gotta catch up for what happened last night to your boy McGregor, Kenny. What happened?
Dude, Courtney, that was Connor, man. Connor he let me down, honestly. Like the millions got to him, the money. He's sitting on a yacht. He doesn't care about winning fights anymore. I wouldn't. I know if I got $100 million from fighting Floyd Mayweather, you guys would never see me again. I'd be like living in a hut above the water on Fiji for the rest of my life. Like,
oh my gosh. All right. Well, we'll talk UFC another day. Everyone have a wonderful conference championship game. I'm Courtney Fallon. That's Kenny Bets Big.
Oh, and don't forget, we're doing 2 days next week.
2 days, yes, for Super Bowl Sunday. Or is it next week or the following of the Super Bowl weekend? Because next weekend is Pro Bowl weekend.
Yeah, it's the following.
And it's the following Sunday. So I don't think we're gonna have a show next week, or we could have a show. But we're gonna double up on our Super Bowl coverage, and you are gonna like prop bets. I know you don't like prop bets. I'm gonna make you like some prop bets.
You got to have fun. Like my clients would kill me if I didn't send them any prop bets. Is it like, well, you think I'm not betting on the national anthem over under? You kidding me?
Okay. Yeah.
The Gatorade's definitely going to be green this year.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your Sunday.